SBA Publications.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are healthy and happy at your home. This is your mentor Nisha Gola, and today with me we start our chapter number 8, and the name of the chapter is measurement. So let's start our chapter. Here we have some question on the basis of our previous learning. Let's revise it. Okay. So here first question is, which unit would you use to measure the? So here some pictures are given and we have to find out length of the following. We have to find out which unit will come or which unit will measure the length of the given figures. So here is road Jaipur to Delhi. We know that Jaipur and Delhi have a large distance between them. So it will measure in kilometer. Okay. Now the length of our hand. So how do we measure the length of this? We can measure in centimeter. Okay. And the pencil is our short length. So it is also we can measure in millimeter or centimeter. So here we write millimeter because the size of the pencil is short. Here we have a bed, and for measuring the bed we will use unit of meter. Okay. Now question number 2, that is weight the following: milligram, gram or kg, means kilogram. So here is a pillow and the weight of this we will measure in gram. Here is a feather, so we will measure the weight of it in milligram. For the book, we can measure the weight of the book in gram, and weight of oranges we will weight in kilogram. Okay. Now the capacity. So capacity will be in milliliter or liter. If we have short capacity, so we will measure in milliliter, or we have large capacity, so we will measure it in liter. Here a glass, we will measure it in milliliter. Capacity of a spoon as in milliliter. Capacity of a bottle we can say in liter, and capacity of tank, water tank, it will be in liter. So we have 3 measures here, and we also learned about in the previous class also. Here we have length. For the length we have unit millimeter, centimeter, meter and kilometer, and the standard unit is meter to measuring length. And weight, and the unit for weight we have milligram, gram or kilogram, and we can say that the standard unit of weight is gram. Okay. And the next is capacity. So capacity we will measure in milliliter or liter, and the standard unit of capacity is liter. Okay. Now we will move our topic. Okay. So here is the metric measures. Okay. How do we measure? So here we have learnt about the metric measures in our earlier classes. Meter, gram and liter are the standard units of length, mass and capacity. You have learned this in your previous class, and now I have already discussed with you. Okay. Means if we say standard unit of length is meter, standard unit of weight or mass we can say gram, and standard unit of capacity is liter. Okay. Now these are other units of metric measures also to measure smaller lengths, masses, capacities. Larger units are used to measure larger length, masses and capacity. If we find out the larger length, larger mass or larger capacity, so we will use larger units of these given units. Or if we want to find out smaller length, smaller mass or smaller capacity, so we will use a smaller unit of these units. Okay, so there is a definite relationship among the various units of metric measures. We put different prefix to the standard units of metric measures. So जो भी हमारे स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट्स हैं उनके आगे हम क्या लगा देते हैं, प्रीफिक्स, जो उनको क्या बनाते हैं, स्मॉलर यूनिट और लार्जेस्ट यूनिट. So here the most common used prefix are kilo, deca, hecto for higher units. Okay, if we want to make the higher units, so we will write prefix kilo, deca, hectometer, just like kilometer, decameter, hectometer. Okay, in this kilogram, decagram and hectogram. ठीक है, when we want to convert it into higher units. If we want to convert it into lower units, so we use prefix deci, centi and milli with the standard unit. This like decimeter, centimeter and millimeter. Okay. In the same decigram, centigram, milligram. Okay. So just like that we can convert these standard unit into higher units using some prefix. In the same way, we also make them lower units using some prefix. Okay, now move to the next. Here we have some units. Let's learn about it. If we are measuring land, standard unit is meter. We learned that, and measure used in day-to-day life are millimeter, centimeter, meter and kilometer. Okay, if we want to measure weight or we can say mass, so standard unit will be gram, or we measure it in milligram, gram and kilogram. Okay, kilogram. Next one is capacity. If we want to measure capacity, so we have a standard unit liter, and we use units milliliter and liter in our day-to-day life. Now learn one by one how to convert these units into higher or lower. Okay, so the place value chart given below is used to understand this relationship better. Okay, by this place value chart we can learn in the better way. Okay, so here we have place value and thousand, hundreds, tens, ones, then tenth, hundredth and thousandth. And in this we have prefix, that is kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi and milli. These are our higher units and these are our lower units. And the ones shows our standard unit. Okay. So here measures of length. So it will become kilometer and the short form is km. And hectometer is written as hm. Decameter, dam, DAM. Meter is written as m. Decimeter is dm. Centimeter, cm and millimeter, mm. Next is measure of weight. We have kilogram, kg, hectogram, hg, decagram, dag, dag, gram denotes to g, decigram, dg, centigram, cg or milligram, mg. Now we have measures of capacity. If we want to measure capacity, so kiloliter, kl, hectoliter, hl, decaliter, dal, del, liter is denoted by L, deciliter, dl, centiliter, cl and milliliter, ml. Okay. Now we have mental maths question here. Here we have to fill in the blanks. And how do we fill here? Let's do. A pile of 10 notebook is 30 centimeter high. So एक pile जो है books का, notebooks का, वो क्या है? 30 centimeter high है. Okay. In which we have 10 notebooks. Okay. So 10 notebooks equals to 30 centimeter high, or we can say length. So we have to answer it into millimeter. So first we find out the thickness of one notebook. And how do we find? By dividing it. So here we have 0 cut of 0, 3 centimeter. Now, but here we have to write in millimeter. And how do we write? We know that 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter. Okay, so 3 multiplied 10 become 30 millimeter. So here we have 30 millimeter. Okay, the next one is the same. A stack of 10 eraser is 10 centimeter high. Each eraser is dash millimeter thick. So here are 10 erasers and the height is 10 centimeter. We have to find out the thickness of one eraser. And how do we find? 10 divided by 10, we get 1 centimeter. And we have to convert it into millimeter. 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters. So here we can write 10. Okay. In the same way, next we have a stack of 10 bed sheet is 95.5 centimeter high. So here 95.5 divided by 10. So what we get? 9.55 centimeter. We know that if 10 is here, so we move to the left. Okay, so now we have 9.55 centimeter, but we have to convert it into millimeter. So we multiply it by 10 and we get 95.5 milliliter. Now we get 95.5 millimeter. Okay, in this way we can do these questions. Okay, now we will learn how to convert metric measures. So let's look at here. Conversion of metric measures. Okay, we already know that various units of metric measures are related to the standard unit by multiples of 10. We know that if we find metric measures of related standard units, so how do we get? By multiples of 10. It is very easy to convert one unit to metric measures. Okay, and how do we convert here? Let's see. Okay, here if we want to convert bigger units into smaller units, what we do? We will multiply. How? If we want to change kilometer to meter, so we will multiply the given number by 1000. If we want to change meter to centimeter, we will multiply it by 100. And if we want to convert centimeter to millimeter, we multiply it by 10. In the same way, to convert smaller unit into bigger units, so what we do? Divide. If we are moving smaller to bigger units. So here, if we want to convert milligram to kilogram, we will divide it by 10, and kilogram to gram, we divided it by 100, and gram to kilogram, we divide it by 1000. Okay, in this manner we can convert metric measures of the given unit. Okay, so here some examples given. Conversion of smaller units into bigger units. अब smaller units को हम bigger units में कैसे change करेंगे? So here we know conversion of length. The example number 1 is convert 85 millimeter into centimeter. Okay, so we know that 10 millimeter equals to 1 centimeter. Okay, so if we want to find out millimeter to centimeter, means smaller unit to bigger unit. So what we do? We do divide it. Okay, smaller to bigger. So we will divide it by 10, means 85 upon 10, and now we can convert it into decimal, that is 8.5 centimeter. Next, example number 2, convert 6612 centimeter into meters. Okay, now centimeter into meters means we have to convert smaller unit to bigger unit. So here we know that 1 centimeter equals to 1 upon 100 meter. So here 6,612 meter is divided by 100, and now we have two zeros here, so we put decimal here. So what we get? We get 66.1 meter. So here we have 66.12 meter. Okay. The example number 3 here, convert 31,296 meter into kilometers. Means smaller unit to bigger unit, we have to divide it. We know that 1000 meter equals to 1 kilometer, or we can say that 1 meter equals to 1 upon 1000 kilometer. So here we have 31,296 meter. So we will divide it by 1000. Here we have 3 zeros, means we have to count out 3 places. So here we have 31.296 kilometer. Okay. So just like that, we can convert smaller unit to bigger unit if we want to convert length. Okay. Now we will learn how to conversion of weight. How to convert weight, or we can say mass. So example number 4 is here. Convert 13 grams 16 milligram into grams. We know that 1000 milligram equals to 1 gram. So 13 gram 16 milligram equals to 13 gram is given to us. That is 13 gram is written as like this, and milligram we can change by dividing it to 1000. So here we get 16 upon 1000. So 13, here we have 3 zeros, so we get 3 places here. So we get 13.016 gram. In the same manner, here example number 5, convert 39,250 gram into kilogram. We know that 1 kilogram equals to 1000 gram. Okay. And now we have to do in convert gram into kilogram, means smaller unit to bigger unit. So what we do? We divide it by 1000. So here we have 39,250 gram, means 39,000 is our kilogram, and rest of the part 250 by 1000. So what we get? Here we have point. So we can say that 39.25 kg. Okay. Now we have horse question. Let's do it. To change milligram into kilogram, you need to divide by. So here we have a smaller unit and we have to convert it into bigger unit. If we convert milligram to gram, we multiply by 1000, and gram to kilogram we multiply it 1000, and if we directly convert milligram to kilogram, so here we have 6 zeros, so we can say that this number, or we can say 10 lakh. So we will divide it by 10 lakh, 6 zeros. C option is correct. Okay. Now we will learn how to convert capacity. Okay. So example number 6 is here. Convert 6 liter 300 milliliter into liters. We know that 1 milliliter equals to 1 upon 1000 liter. Here we divide because we are converting smaller unit to bigger unit. So here we have 6 liter and we have to convert in liters, so we write 6 as it is. Now we have 300 milliliter, so to convert it into liter we divided it by 1000. So here what we get? 6 plus 0.300, and then after adding we get 6.3 liter. Okay. Now example number 7. Convert 55,175 liter into kiloliters. So 1 liter equals to 1 upon 1000 kiloliter. Why? Because we know that it is bigger unit, and when we convert smaller unit to bigger unit we will divide. Okay. So here we have 55,175 and 55 is already here 55,000 liter, we can write it as 55 kiloliter, and the rest of the part we have 175 upon 1000. Okay, so here we have 55 plus 0.175 kiloliter, and after adding them we get 55.175 kiloliter. Okay, now move to the next. Here we learn conversion of bigger unit into smaller units. Now we have learned that how to convert smaller unit into bigger unit, and after that here we learn how to convert bigger unit into a smaller unit. So first we learn how to convert length, means conversion of length. Example number 8, convert 6 kilometer 35 meter into meters. So here we know that 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. Here we know that we have to convert a unit into a smaller unit, means we have to multiply it. So here we know that 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter, means 6 kilometer is, if we want to convert it into meter, so we multiply it by 1000. 6 multiply 1000 plus 35 meter. 6000 meter we get here, 35 meter, and after adding we get 6035 meter here. Okay, so here we convert 6 kilometer 35 meter into meter, that is 6035. Example number 9, convert 8 meter 13 centimeter into centimeter. Okay, we know that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, so 8 multiply 100, because we have to convert meter into centimeter, plus centimeter is already here, so we write only 13 centimeter. After multiplying we get 800 centimeter, and 13 centimeter is already there. After adding we get 813 centimeter. Okay, now we have conversion of weight. Okay, how we convert weight? So example number 10, convert 8 kilogram 14 gram into grams. Okay, now we have 8 kilogram 14 gram and we have to convert it into gram. We know that 1 kilogram equals to 1000 gram, and here we have to convert bigger unit to smaller unit, that's why we will multiply it. Here we have 8 multiply 1000 gram, and 14 gram is already here, so we write it as it is. Here we get 8000 gram plus 14 gram, and by adding we get 8014 gram here. Okay, the next example is example number 11. So here convert 8 gram 130 milligram into milligram. We have to convert it into milligram. We know that 1 gram equals to 1000 milligram, and we have to convert it here. So 8 gram will be 8 multiply 1000 milligram, and 130 milligram is given here, we write it as it is. So here we get 8000 milligram and we add 130 milligram into 8000. So what we get? We get 8130 milligram. Okay. Now we learn how to convert capacity units. So conversion of capacity from bigger unit to smaller unit. Example number 12, convert 7 kiloliter 350 liter into liters. Here we know that 1 kiloliter equals to 1000 liter, and we already know that we are converting bigger unit to smaller unit, that's why we will multiply it. So here 7 kiloliter means 7 into 1000 liter, and 350 liter is already here, so we write it as it is. Here we get 7000 liter plus 350 liter, and the answer will become 7350 liter. And in this we have example number 11, convert 17 liter 350 milliliter into milliliters. So we know 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. Now we convert it. 17 liter means 17 into 1000 milliliter, and here 350 milliliter written as it is. Okay, so here we get 17,000 milliliter plus 350 milliliter, means the answer will be 17,350 milliliter. So students, here we learn how to convert smaller unit to bigger unit and how to convert bigger unit into smaller units. Okay, so on the basis of that, we have exercise 8.1. Here, let's solve it. So, question number 1, convert the following. So, what we have? 875 centimeter into meter. We know that centimeter is smaller unit and meter is bigger unit. And when we convert smaller unit to bigger unit, we will divide. As we know, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. It means 1 centimeter we can say 1 upon 100 meters. So, in this way, we divide it 875 by 100. So, what we get? 875, 2 zeros are there. So, 875, count the places 2. So, here 1 and 2, here we write 8.75 and we have to convert it into meter. So, the answer will become 8.75 meter. Okay. In the same manner, you will do all the part of this question. Okay. Now we have question number 2, that is convert the following. Now what we have to convert? 13 kilometer, 4 meter, 400 meter into meter. Okay. So we know that here we are converting bigger unit to smaller unit, means we have to multiply now. So 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. Okay. So here 13 kilometer 400 meter equals to 13 kilometer will be changed into meter by multiplying it by 1000. And here 400 meter is already in meter. So we write it as it is 400 meter. Now we get 13 multiplied 1000 means 13,000 meter plus 400 meter. Here we get, after adding it, 13,400 meter. Okay. So 13 kilometer 400 meter, if we converting this unit to meter, what we get? We get 13,400 meter. Okay. So here one part of this question I have solved for you and the rest of the parts you solve by yourself. Okay. Students, now we have different units and the decimal system. Okay. So metric measures are used in our everyday life. It is important to know that the relationship of the different units with the decimal system. Okay, and how do we know that? Just look at here, length. If we find out the length, we know that the place value chart here first we discussed earlier. So here meter is our standard unit, then dam, decameter, hectometer and kilometer. Now decimeter, centimeter and millimeter. So how do we write it? Here we have 9, 2, 4, 6. 6 in meter, 4 in dam, 2 in HM and 9 in kilometer. So what we have? 9.246 kilometer if we are writing it in kilometer. Okay, in the same way, if we are writing it in meter, so we have 8.475 meter. In this we have 8.093, here 8 will become 8.093 meter. And in this also we have 56.7 centimeter. Okay. In the same way, weight, or we can say mass. So here we can write, if we write it in kilogram, so we write it 6.035 kilogram. And here if we writing in gram, so we write 7.046 gram. Okay. Now for the capacity, here we have 6397. So if we want to write it in kiloliter, so we write 6.397 kiloliter and 8.456 liter. Okay. So in this manner we can convert or we can write units in decimal system. Okay. Now operations on metric measures. Operation, what is operation? mathematical operation, and the mathematical operations are plus, minus, multiplication and division. So now we learn that. First we learn addition of metric measures. So how do we add? Here example number 1. Ashok traveled 20 km, 120 meter by bike, 1 kilometer, 870 meter on foot, and 16 kilometer, 850 meter by bus. Okay, so we have to find out the total distance traveled by Ashok. And we know that if we want to find out total distance, it means we have to add it. Okay, so here we write these statements, that is, distance traveled by bike is 20 kilometer, 120 meter, and as kilometer we can write 20.120 kilometer. And distance traveled by foot, so we write 1 kilometer 870 meter as 1.870 kilometer. And distance traveled by bus, 16 kilometer 850 meter, we write it as 16.850 kilometer. Okay, now we have to find out the total distance. For that we add all the lengths here. So 20.120, 1.870 and 16.850. Earlier we know that how to add decimal numbers. Decimal will be in the same place. Okay, so here we have 0, 2, 7, 9, 5, 14, 1, 2, 8, 10, 10, 8, 18, 6, 1, 7 and 1, 8 and 2 and 1, 3. So we get 38.840 kilometer, or we can write 38 kilometer 840 meter. Okay, now we learn subtraction of metric measures. Example is given here. A water tank contains 500 liter 960 milliliter water. Due to leakage at bottom, 29 liter 85 milliliter of water leaked out from the tank. What quantity of water is left in the tank? Now we have to find out what quantity is left. And we know that if we want left quantity, so we have to subtract the given unit. So here we have quantity of water in tank. So here we have 500 liter 960 milliliter, and we write it as 500.960 liter. Okay, and what water leaked out 29 liter 85 milliliter, and we write it as 29.085 liter. Okay, and now we have to find out how much quantity of water is left now in the tank. So what we have to do, we have to subtract it. So here 10 out of 5 is 5, it become 15, 15 में से 8 gets 7, it will become 8, 8 minus 0 is 8. Here we have to borrow 1, so we get 10 here, 9 and 4. 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 2 is 7 and 4 is 4. Okay, so here we get 471.875 liter, or we can write 471 liter 875 milliliter. Okay, now on the basis of these we can solve our exercise 8.2. Let's solve it. So here question number 1, add expressing in units indicate against each. Okay, so here we have to convert it. First we have to add these 3 units and then convert it into kilogram. So what we have 68 kilogram 448 gram, and the next one is 168 kilogram 207 gram, and the third one is 664 kilogram and 442 gram. Okay, now we have to add it. Here we have 8, 7, 15, 15 and 2, 17. 1 carry here, 1, 4, 5, 5, 4, 9. In this 4 to 6, 6, 4, 10. and 1 is carry here. 1, 8, 9, 9, 8, 17, 17, 4, 21. So here we have 2, 2, 6, 8, 8, 6, 14 and 14, 6, 20. So here we have 2, 2, 1, 3 and 6, 9. So what we get here? We get 901 kilogram and 097 gram. Okay, and if we want to write it as kilogram, so we can write like this: 901.097 gram. Okay, so this is kilogram. So we can write 901.097 kilogram. Okay, so in this manner we can solve rest of the questions. Okay, now we have question number 2. Question number 2 is subtract expressing in units indicated against each. Okay, so question number 1 is subtract 16 kiloliter from 88 kiloliter 5 liter. So how do we subtract it? Let's see here. So here we have 88 kiloliter and 5 liter. Okay, and then we have 16 kiloliter and no liter is here. Okay, it means we have 5 and 8 out of 6, 2, minus 6, 2 and 8 minus 1 is 7. So here what we have here? 72 kiloliter, 5 liter, and we have to write it in kiloliter. So how do we write? 72.5 kiloliter. Okay, this is our answer. Okay, so 1 I have solved for you and the rest of the parts you will solve by yourself. Next we have question number 3. These are word problems are given here. Okay, so let's one by one. So question number 3, solve the following word problems. First we have Mrs. Dhingra bought 7 meter 25 centimeter of blue cloth, 2 meter 75 centimeter of yellow cloth and 9 meter 50 centimeter of red cloth. How many meters of cloth did she buy in all? हमें total length निकालनी, ठीक है? तो what we do? We have to add it. So blue cloth कितना खरीदा उन्हें? 7 meter 25 centimeter and yellow cloth she bought yellow cloth of 2 meter 75 centimeter length, and then red cloth is of 9 meter 50 centimeter. Okay, we have to find out the total length. Okay, total length. How do we find? By adding all these lengths. So here we have 7 meter 25 centimeter. The next one is 2 meter 75 centimeter, and then we have 9 meter 50 centimeter. Okay, now we add it. 5 and 5, 10. 1 is carry here, 2, 7, 9, 9, 1, 10 or 10, 15. 1 is here, 1, 7, 8, 8 to 10 and 10, 9, 19. So what we get? We get 19 meter 50 centimeter. So we can write here, she bought 19 meter 50 centimeter of cloth. Okay, so उसने total कितना खरीदा? 19 meter 50 centimeter. Okay, rest of the part B and C you will try to solve by yourself. Okay, so this is about addition and subtraction of different units. Now we will learn multiplication of metric measures and how do we multiply metric measures. So let's see here. Example, multiply 5 meter 5 decameter 6 centimeter 8 millimeter by 13. Express the result in meters. Now we have to write in meters. So here we know that 5 meter, 5 decameter, 5 meter, 5 decimeter, 6 centimeter and 8 millimeter equals to, we can write in decimal as 5.568 meter. Now what we have to do? We have to multiply it by 13. So here we can write, so when we multiply 5.568 by 13, so what we get? We get 72.384 meter. Okay. Now we know how to divide metric measures. Okay, so example is given here. Divide 172 kilometer 2 meter by 6. Express the result in kilometer. Now we have to write our result into kilometers. Okay, so let's see the solution of this example. Here 172 kilometer 2 meter, we can write it as kilometer in 172.002 kilometer. Now we will divide it by 6. So here we have 6 to the 12 and after subtracting it we get 5 and carry out 2 here. Okay. So 6 8 are 48. Now after subtracting it we get 4 and bring down 0, and we learn that here decimal is given. So we put decimal into quotient also. Okay. We have 6 6 are 36. Now again we have 4 and we bring down 0 here. So 6 6 are 36. Now we have 4 and bring down 2 here. So we get 42 and 6 7s are 42. So remainder will become 0. It means we can write the quotient is 28.667 kilometer. Okay. Now on the basis of this multiplication and division of metric units, we have to solve exercise 8.3 here. What we have to do here? The question number 1, find the product of the following. The question number 1 is 7 kilometer, 5 hectometer, 3 decimeter, 3 decameter, 4 meter. And we have to multiply it by 13. Okay, so how do we multiply it? Let's see here. Okay, so 7 kilometer, 5 hectometer, 3 decameter and 4 meter. It is written as, if we converting it into decimal, so we can write it as 7.534 kilometer. Okay, now we will multiply it by 13. So here 7.534 multiply it by 13. Okay, so here 3 4s are 12, 1 is carry here, 3 3s are 9 and 1 10, 1 is carry here, 3 5s are 15 and 1 16, 3 7s are 21 and 1 22. Now we have to multiply by 1. So we get 1 4s are 4, 1 3s are 3, 1 5s are 5 and 1 7s are 7. Now we have to add it. What we get? 2, 4, 9. Here we have 7, 9. Okay. Now we know that here 3 decimal places are here. So in the answer we also put decimal after 3 digits. 1, 2 and 3. So what we get? We get 97.942, and what is the unit of this? Kilometer. Okay, so answer will become 97.942 kilometer. Okay, so I have solved one question for you and the rest of the parts you will solve by yourself. Now we have question number 2, that is find the quotient of the following. Here we have to find out the quotient and means we have to divide it. And how do we divide? Here 9 kilometer, 5 hectometer, 6 decameter and 4 meter divided by 12. Okay, if we are writing it into decimal, so what will become? 9.564 kilometer. Now we can easily divide it by 12. So 12 become our divisor and our dividend is 9.564. Okay. So here we can observe that 9 is smaller than 12. So how do we divide it? We take 95, 9 and 5. And here is decimal, so we put decimal in the quotient also. Okay. So here, so 12 sevens we have 84. Now we have to minus it. 5 is 4, 5 minus 4 is 1 and 9 minus 8 is 1. Now 11 is less than 12, so we can bring down 6 here. Now we have 12 nines of 108. Now we have to subtract it. What we get? We get 8 here. Okay. Now we carry out 4 here. Now 12 sevens is 84. So here we get remainder as 0. So the answer is will become 0.797 kilometer. Okay. In this manner you can solve or you can divide the following numbers. Okay. Now we have question number 3. These are word problems. Okay. So one I have solved for you for your reference. Here the weight of a book is 350 gram. What would be the weight of 14 such books in kilograms? हमें बताना है kilograms में अगर हम मेजर करें तो इन बुक्स का कितना weight होगा. So here first we write the weight of a book is 350 gram. Okay. Now we have to find out the weight of 14 books. So here we write 14 books. And if we find out the weight of 14 books, what we do? We will multiply 350 gram by 14. Okay. Now here we multiply it 350 multiply by 14. 4 into 0 0, 4 5 is 20 and 2 4 3 is 12 and 2 14. Here we have 1 0 0, 1 5 is 5, 1 3 is 3, 0 0 9 and 4. What we have? We have 4900 gram. And now in the question is given, we have to convert it into kilogram. And we know that 1 kilogram equals to 1000 gram. It means 1 gram equals to 1 upon 1000 kilogram. So we will divide it by 1000. So what we get? 4900 gram. So here we get 4000 gram plus 900 gram. Okay. So 4000 equals to 4 kilogram and 900 gram. And we write it as kilogram, 4.900 kilogram. Okay. You can write like this. Okay. The next one is Sheena has been asked to drink 9 glasses of water every day. Sheena ने क्या बोला कि वो एक दिन में रोज 9 glass of water पीती है. Each glass contain 145 milliliter और हर एक ग्लास में कितनी कैपेसिटी है? 145 milliliter की. So we have to find out how many liters of water does she drink in a day. तो एक दिन में वो कितना लीटर पानी पीती है. तो उसके लिए क्या करेंगे हम? 145 मिलीलीटर को 9 से मल्टीप्लाई. ओके. This question you will solve by yourself. Okay. Now we have project work that you will do by yourself. Okay. Here we have to estimate weight and actual weight we have to write here. Your lunch box, your school bag and your chair. Okay. This question you will do by yourself. Okay. Now we will move to the next. Here we have horse question. Let's solve it. So take the correct answer. 3.5 centimeter equals to how many millimeter? We know that 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter. If we multiply 3.5 by 10, so what we get? We get 35 millimeter. Okay. Next one is 825 milliliter equals to how many liters? We know that liter is bigger unit. Okay, and when we want to convert smaller unit to bigger unit, what we have to do? Yes, divide. Okay, so 825 divided by 1000. So what we get? 0.825 liter. Here 4 kilogram 7 gram equals to. So we have to find out 4 kilogram 7 gram equals to. So 4 kilogram is 4.007 gram. Okay. Next one is 5327 meter equals to how many kilometer? So we divide it by 1000 and we get 5.327 kilometer. Okay. So student, now is fun activity is given here. You will do it by yourself. Okay. So student, this is all about your chapter. I hope all the concept of this chapter has been clear to you all. Okay. We will meet in the next class. Meanwhile, take care and goodbye.